Hi Pisces, how are you? My name is Cheryl Lynn and I'm here to do the year 2025. At least a snapshot into what to expect. That's what we're going to try here, okay? So let's see. We're going to use 3 decks. So one for the basic gist of the month, and then after that we'll use the other decks to clarify whatever they've got there. Okay, so this one's for my Pisces, and this is for 2025. So what's the overall feeling for the year? We get the High Priestess. So it feels like the lesson or the gist of the year is all about you learning how to better use your discernment and to lean on your intuition. Okay? All right, let's see what we get for every month, and then we'll move on. Okay, so for January, you're getting the Strength card. For, we have to move everybody around a little bit, make sure it fits. For February, you're getting the 3 of Swords. For March, we have the 4 of Swords. For April, we have the 10 of Pentacles, okay? For May, we are looking at the Wheel of Fortune. For June, I have the 4 of Cups. For July, you're looking at the Prince of Cups, which would be the Knight of Cups. For August, we have the Fool. September, we have 2 of Cups. October, we have the Queen of Wands. November, you have the 5 of Cups. And December, you have the 3 of Cups, okay? The bottom of the deck is the Moon. So the overall lesson for the year has something to do with the High Priestess, okay? That's what you're trying to be taught in the next year. And the Moon is the underlying current to it. So this is all, really it's all about leaning on your intuition, I think. Trusting your intuition for what things, maybe things that you cannot see or prove for sure, but things that you know to be there or be true. Okay? All right, let's see what we can get when we clarify it all. See if that helps us out. I gotta move these around. You're the first one of these I'm doing, so sorry, you're like the test run on all this, okay? All right, let's see what we get. So I'm gonna clarify with a different deck. I went that card too. All right. Some people keep asking me which decks I'm using. So we were using the Pathfinder's Tarot for the original one. Now we're going to clarify with Phantasma Tarot. Okay? All right. This one's for my Pisces for 2025. All right, let's start with January. So January, you pulled the Strength card, and we're being clarified by the Sun and the 4 of Cups. So I feel like in January, you're having to exhibit a huge amount of inner strength. It seems like something that you felt like was your happiness or was the road to your happiness is suddenly feeling, you're discontent with it. You're dissatisfied with whatever. Maybe you're dissatisfied with the speed at which the road is carrying you to this happiness, or you've grown somehow dissatisfied with what you felt like was going to be your happiness. Okay. Okay, so in February, we pulled the 3 of Swords. We're clarifying with the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. I do feel like whatever this happiness was, whatever it was that you felt was going to be the happiness for the, for your life, I think you're dissatisfied with the rate at which it is growing or the rate at which it is advancing. In February, it's starting to become heartbreaking to you that it is moving what appears to be not at all, although it is moving just very, very slowly. And this is definitely some sort of a relationship, it looks like, with the Ace of Cups here. I feel like this is something that is growing, just not growing at the rate that you want it to, okay? That's how I feel about that. Okay, in March we had the 4 of Swords, and we're going to clarify with the Ace of Wands and the 6 of Swords. So I feel like the lack of control that you have over whatever this is, for most of you, I feel like this is a relationship. For some of you, it could be a job, I suppose, but I really feel like it's a relationship. You just have, this is happening in divine timing. It's not happening in your timing, right? You want everything to move much more quickly than what it is managing to move here. It's making you feel completely out of control. So you're trying to steer the ship off into, which is your life, off into calmer waters, because you just can't take this total loss of control in the situation. Maybe that is part of the lesson that you are trying, that Spirit's trying to teach you. That you can't have total control in life, right? With the Ace of Wands, I do feel that you feel very passionately about this situation in general. It's just not moving as quickly as you want it to. So I feel like there's heartbreak attached to it in February, and come March, I feel like you're trying to recover and rest and steer the whole thing off into calmer waters. It's not that there's anything chaotic here. It's feeling chaotic to you because of the loss of control. You want total control in the situation and you just don't have it. Okay? All right, let's go forward. We got April. April, you pulled the Ten of Pentacles. We get the Knight of Wands and the Devil. So, we have a basic theme here, and I don't think it's changed much. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like some of your passion is starting to turn into anger over the lack of control you have within the situation. You're heading for your Ten of Pentacles, and you're still heading there. It's just not happening in your timing. It's happening in divine timing, and I do feel now that that is probably part of the lesson that you are being taught here, and it's how to understand that divine timing takes place, and that sometimes you don't have to see something to know it's real, right? With the Moon and the High Priestess. This is about trusting Spirit to get you to where you need to go and relinquishing control, it looks like. Okay, that's what I got through April. Okay, what do we got in May? In May, you get the Wheel of Fortune, and it's clarified by the Four of Pentacles and the King of Wands. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it still looks to me like you are trying to hang on to whatever control you have in this situation. What you're being asked to do is surrender it. I feel like the King of Wands is the other person involved in this situation, obviously. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune would say that, you know, things are turning in your favor. I just don't feel like it's happening as quickly as you want it to. Okay? All right, for June, we have the Four of Cups. We're pulling the Magician and the Seven of Pentacles. So I think in June, you have decided that you want this person to put in more effort. You feel like you're putting in all the effort, they're not putting in enough, so you're trying to manifest them putting in more effort. You're dissatisfied with what you perceive as the amount of effort that they're putting into the situation. I'm not saying that that's accurate. I'm just saying that's what you're feeling. Okay. In July, we have the Knight of Cups. And what did you pull to clarify? We got the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So with the Knight of Cups, this is somebody, you know, riding in to save the day. Somebody basically coming in to knight in shining armor type of deal. Eight of Pentacles, what they're coming in with is communication. And it does bring you a sense of emotional fulfillment, it looks like. So July looks like a great month. I think that everything you've been fighting to make happen for the first 6 months of the year finally starts to fall together for you in July. It was always going to fall together, though. That's what you have to realize. And you've just caused yourself a lot of grief for no reason, you know. You're not going to push things any faster than what Spirit has intended for it to go. So you need to basically surrender control, it looks like. All right, let's keep going. So in August, you've got the Fool, and it's clarified by the Ten of Swords and the Justice card. So the Fool would be all about you taking a leap of faith towards a situation. The Ten of Swords to Justice is somehow you getting justice for somebody betraying you in the past. I don't feel like it's the person you got all this going with. This is somebody else, and this coming to fruition or starting to finally move at the pace that you wanted it to all along is kind of like your justice for something that happened to you in the past. That's how I see August. Okay, with September, you've got the Two of Cups. We're going to clarify that with the Five of Swords and the Hangman. So with the Five of Swords, there is some sort of conflict within this union here. No doubt it has to do with you still trying to be in control. With the Hangman, you're feeling stuck. Trying to see things from a new perspective, possibly. I think at this point you are trying to relinquish the control that you know you need to relinquish, or at least at the very least share. But I don't think it's easy for you. There you have it, right? That's kind of the way that goes. Let me see. All right, here we go. So now we're going to go on to October. We got the Queen of Wands. You're pulling the Moon and the High Priestess. How ironic. That is what you actually have here for your whole year. So the Queen of Wands is how you're presenting. Of course, you have to temper that. You don't want to come through as somebody who's willing to step on everybody to try to get to what they want to go to or what they want in life, because you will rack up bad karma. This is a lot more about you learning to lean on your intuition, learning to trust in Spirit and relinquish some control, and understanding that you don't have to see everything, you know. It's about trust. Trust in this person that it feels like you're building with, and trust in Spirit, and trust in yourself, really. Trust in your own intuition. Okay, let's go to November, where you have the Five of Cups. I get the Emperor and the Four of Swords. So I think it has been an eventful and a meaningful year for you up until this point. I think you've learned a lot. I don't think all of it has been terribly comfortable. I do think you're still in the situation that you started the year trying to grow in. I think you still try sometimes to step into your emperor status, step into your masculine, no matter whether you're male or female. I think you are dealing with some regrets when it comes to November, just because you are seeing some of the errors of your ways, possibly. But I don't think it's anything all that serious. You need time to recover, and you need to understand that you can't always be as rigid in your thinking and as adamant in your control, right? That's what this whole year seems to have been about. Okay, in December you have the Three of Cups, you've got the Two of Cups, and the Five of Cups. So I feel like come December there is a cause for celebration. I feel like the union has definitely grown stronger between you and whoever this person is. With the Five of Cups, I do think that you're dealing with some regrets for the way you've acted in the last year. However, you need to not be so hard on yourself, because this was a learning process, correct? And I think that by the end of the year you have really come around. You've learned a lot, come a long ways. Learn to better trust in your discernment and your intuition, and definitely learn to let go of having to know everything all the time and be in control so much. Okay? So, this is what I got for you for 2025. I was going to do advice for the last deck. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, we're going to pull now for advice for the year on each month. This whole next year looks like it's very much so about a relationship that you are trying to grow with, for certain. Or if it's one you're already in, it's one you're trying to cause growth within. So let's see what we get for January. What is your advice? Advice for January, we get the Page of Swords. It's all about you finding clarity. Finding clarity in, more or less, I believe, in more of your intuition and the likes. For February, your advice was the King of Pentacles. Relinquishing control for most of you to somebody else, letting somebody else be in boss energy. For others of you, it could be you stepping into boss energy, but whoever it is, it's somebody needing to step into boss energy and somebody else needing to allow that person to be in that position. For March, what did we get? For March, we've got the Three of Cups. So you had the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Ace of Wands. So you're feeling passionately about steering your life on to calmer waters. There's still a cause for celebration here, though, is what it's saying. You're still within the relationship that you're trying to help grow, right? It's just a learning process. For April, what did you have? You had 10 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Devil. And your advice for that is the Eight of Pentacles. It's all about continuing to put in the work and nurturing these things to fruition so that you can pull the dividends back out of what you've invested in, right? That's how I see it. With May, we end up with the King of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. And your advice for that was the Five of Wands. It's to realize who you need to compete with. You know, there doesn't have to be competition if there's no need for it. So don't make competition where there doesn't need to be any. Okay? For June, your advice with the Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Hierophant is the Queen of Pentacles. Keep your eye on the big prize. Keep your eye on that goal that you have off in the distance. Don't get stuck on the small details that keep coming around, the little problems that arise. You can't get stuck there. Keep your eye on the big prize. Okay, for July, you had the Prince of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yep. And you're clarifying with the Emperor. This is back to the same thing. It's all about you being willing to surrender control. That's what this whole year looks like it's about. Learning how to be in a true relationship and have some sort of equal give and take, and how to actually trust in somebody else, including spirit, and surrender control. In August, you have the Justice card, the Ten of Swords, and, I can't see it, the Fool. And you get the Knight of Swords. This is you gaining the clarity, that understanding that this really is your justice for something that was done to you in the past, and being willing to take this leap of faith, which involves a fair, if not a lot, of trust. So we go forward to September, where you have the Two of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Hangman. And your advice is the Four of Cups. Your advice is to not get stuck in this sense of dissatisfaction, because it's going to be around you at some point for things not moving at the pace you want them to. You know, you have to, here again, it's all about keeping your eye on the big prize. Okay, we go to October, where you have the Moon, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Wands. And your advice here is the Two of Cups. It's to remember what you're doing all this for, is to be in this union. Make sure you keep sight of that, okay? Okay, for November, we have the Four of Swords, the Emperor, and the Five of Cups. And your advice is the Two of Swords. Make sure you're staying grounded and looking at things realistically. Don't get caught up in the he say, she say, I want it this way, I want it that way. Take the blindfold off. Stay grounded. Remember what you're in this for, okay? And for December, we had the Five of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Two of Cups. Lots of emotion there, huh? And you get the Empress. And that's all about you remembering who you are, okay? You got into this to try to make this relationship grow. And everything is going in the right direction for that to happen. Understand that for it to grow, you have to grow as well. And the growth that it looks like you are attempting to get through is one where you are learning to trust in this person and in spirit and relinquish some control, okay? To try to get you to the point where you have true happiness and true love. That is what I got for you, Pisces. I hope this helps. There you go.